Have you ever felt like a woman is sending you signals, but you aren't sure what they mean? Maybe she smiles at you in a special way. She looks for excuses to be near you or sends you seemingly innocent messages. But is it just kindness? Or is there something more behind it? Today we are going to unravel one of the greatest mysteries of relationships. How to know if a woman likes you. This isn't a matter of luck or having a good gut feeling. There are clear psychological patterns and subtle cues that women give off when they feel attracted to someone. And you know the best part? Often those signs are right before your eyes, but they go unnoticed. Imagine what you could achieve if you knew how to read them accurately. Stay until the end because you will not only discover how to identify these signs, but also how to respond confidently and authentically to take that connection to the next level. Believe in me, after this video you will never doubt whether a woman likes you again. Let's start with body language. It is a powerful tool that reveals more than words can express when a woman is interested in someone. Her body becomes an open book, but you have to know how to read it. Many of these signals are subtle, almost imperceptible, and are emitted unconsciously. However, once you learn to identify them, you will not only understand if she likes you, but you will also be able to interpret what she feels at every moment. Now, let's dive into the most revealing signs. First, let's talk about eye contact, one of the clearest manifestations of attraction. When a woman feels interest, her gaze behaves differently if you notice her watching you from across the room. She even quickly looks away when you catch her. It is a sign that her attention is on you, but there is more. When she talks to you and holds your gaze a second longer than necessary, she is sending a silent message that is even more telling when her pupils seem to dilate slightly while looking at you. This is not magic, it is science. Pupils dilate when someone feels attracted. A physiological reflex that cannot be controlled. In addition to eye contact, there is the sincere and spontaneous smile. But be careful, not all smiles mean the same thing. An authentic smile includes the eyes. When a woman truly smiles, her eyes narrow slightly, forming small lines at the corners, which psychologists call the Duchenne smile. If she smiles at you constantly, even when you say something simple or not very funny, it's because you evoke positive emotions in her. On the other hand, if you notice her smiling shyly and looking down, she might be struggling to hide her nervousness, which is another sign of interest. The body also has its own language, and this is where body posture comes into play. A woman interested in someone adopts an open posture, meaning she avoids crossing her arms or legs, which indicates she is receptive to your presence. Yes, you are in a group. Observe where her feet are pointing, even if it may seem irrelevant. Feet tend to point toward what holds our attention, and if hers are pointed toward you, it's a sign you are at the center of her interest. Also pay attention to how she positions her torso. If she is leaning slightly toward you or moves closer when you speak, she is creating an intimate space where only you matter. Now, not all body language is big and obvious. Small gestures also play a role. For example, if she plays with her hair while talking to you, this could be an unconscious way of drawing your attention. The act of fixing her hair, adjusting her clothes, or touching her lips while listening to you are signs that she is concerned with looking good in front of you. But remember, it is essential to observe the context here. These gestures must be accompanied by other signs, such as how often she looks at you or the intensity of her reactions. Finally, we cannot ignore positive nervousness. When a woman feels attraction, it is common for her to show signs of controlled nervousness like tapping her fingers, crossing and uncrossing her legs, or even playing with an object like a ring or bracelet. This doesn't mean she is uncomfortable, rather, her body is processing the emotion of being near someone she is interested in. These signs together form a map of her interest, and your ability to read it will be key to knowing if she likes you. But remember body language. It should not be analyzed in isolated parts, but as a whole. A single sign may not mean much, but when several of these appear simultaneously, you are looking at a silent declaration of attraction. Now that you know how to read her body language, you are one step closer to deciphering her real feelings. When a woman feels attraction towards someone, her actions become the clearest proof of her feelings. While words can be carefully chosen, actions are usually spontaneous and reflect what is truly happening inside her. If you pay attention, You will discover that it is the small details that really count. Sometimes what seems like an insignificant gesture can be the confirmation you are looking for here. You will explain how to interpret those action signals that often go unnoticed. Let's start with the little details that give you away. Have you noticed that she fixes her hair when she's near you? This gesture, though it may seem trivial, has a purpose: to grab your attention and look attractive in your eyes, but it doesn't stop there. She might adjust her clothes, run her hands along her neck, or even apply a little more lip gloss. While you are present, all of this is no coincidence. It is her way of sending a nonverbal message. I want you to notice that this type of behavior is an unconscious reflection that she is mindful of her appearance because she cares what you think. Let's move on to something even more evident: the initiative in conversations. If a woman constantly seeks to talk to you, send you messages, or even find excuses to start a chat, it's not just a coincidence. She might send you a message to ask something seemingly trivial, like, "How was your day?" Or, "Do you know where I can find this?" But what really matters isn't the question, but the fact that she thought of you as her first option to converse with. If you notice that she seeks to prolong the interaction even after having resolved the initial topic, it's clear she wants to spend more time connecting with you. Another revealing action is the search for physical proximity. This is where things get even more interesting. Women who feel attraction usually find subtle ways to be near the person they like. Maybe she stands closer than necessary while you're talking or finds an excuse to touch you, like fixing something on your shirt or giving your arm a tap while she laughs. Even accidental brushes, like her hands touching yours when you are together, can be intentional. These actions show a subconscious desire to eliminate the physical barrier between you. Another powerful indication is small surprises and thoughtful gestures. If a woman does unexpected things to brighten your day, like sending you an encouraging message before an important meeting or bringing you your favorite coffee without you asking, she is showing that she thinks of you beyond casual interactions. These gestures, though subtle, reflect a deeper emotional interest. On the other hand, pay attention to how she behaves when you are in a group if you notice that her actions are primarily directed toward you. Like laughing at your jokes more than others, seeking your opinion before others, or even staying near you while everyone else disperses. These are clear signs that she wants to set you apart from everyone else in a group setting. Interested women usually demonstrate preferences that, although it might not seem like it, are loaded with meaning. Finally, let's not forget the time and energy she invests in you. A woman who likes someone will always look for ways to include him in her life. Maybe she suggests activities to do together or invites you to places she knows you're interested in. If she sets aside time in her day, even when busy, to interact with you, it is an unmistakable sign of interest. Remember, people don't invest time and effort in someone for whom they don't feel something special. Actions are, without a doubt, the purest reflection of romantic interest. A woman may be reserved with her words, but her behaviors will say it all. If you know how to observe these patterns and connect them with the context, you will be able to understand if she really likes you. The key lies in paying attention to the details and valuing her consistency. Actions speak louder than any words, and if you are attentive, you will have a clear answer about what she really feels for you. When a woman is interested in someone, she may test that person consciously or unconsciously to evaluate their interest, character, and emotional compatibility. These tests, although they may seem challenging or even confusing, are a tool to measure if you are truly worth it in her eyes. Understanding these dynamics will not only allow you to recognize her interest but will also give you the tools to respond with confidence and maintain her attraction. We will explore the most common tests and how to handle them intelligently. First is the classic test of mentioning other men. It may seem like she is talking about someone else because she is interested, but in many cases, this is just a test to observe your reaction. Perhaps she mentions a work friend or talks about someone who sent her a message recently. This does not necessarily mean that she likes that person. What she is looking for is to see if you show jealousy, insecurity, or, conversely, maintain your calm and project confidence. The best way to handle this situation is not to panic or ask unnecessary questions. Simply smile, listen, and continue the conversation without showing discomfort. This will show her that you have self-confidence and that you aren't affected by comparisons. Another common test is the distance or push-pull game. Pull. She might be extremely affectionate with you one moment and seem a bit distant the next. This behavior can confuse you, but don't worry. It is a mechanism to evaluate if you are willing to maintain interest when she is not as available. Here, it is important not to overanalyze or act desperately. Give her space and respond with maturity. If she sees that you don't lose your composure and continue showing your interest in a balanced way, she will be more convinced that you are someone emotionally stable. There is also the resistance to rejection test. It is possible that when you invite her out, she says something like, "I'm not sure, maybe another day," or she doesn't give an immediate answer. This doesn't mean she doesn't want to see you, rather, she is measuring your persistence and your ability to handle uncertainty. In this case, the key is not to insist too much or take it as an absolute rejection. Simply respond calmly. I understand. Let me know when you're free. I'd love to see you. This attitude will show her that you don't depend on her immediate response to feel good about yourself. Another interesting test is when she challenges or subtly provokes you. She might make a playful comment about something you said or ask a challenging question like, "You always do that with all the girls." This isn't a real criticism, but a way to measure your humor and your ability to handle situations lightly. The best response in these cases is to use humor and confidence. For example, you could respond with something like, "Only with the ones I find interesting." This type of response not only diffuses the provocation but also reinforces your perceived value. Also, pay attention to the emotional compatibility tests. These are usually more subtle and deep. She might ask you personal questions about your goals, your values, or your past relationships. Although these conversations may seem casual, she is actually evaluating if you share a worldview similar to hers. Here, the key is to be authentic and not try to impress forcibly. Respond with sincerity and show that you know who you are and what you're looking for in life. Finally, we cannot ignore the fact that some women use silence as a test. If she suddenly stops sending you messages or seems more distant, it could be a way to measure your reaction. This is a crucial moment. Instead of sending multiple messages or constantly seeking her attention, respect her space. If she is truly interested, she will reach out again, and seeing that you kept your composure, your attractiveness will grow even more in her eyes. These subtle tests are not a manipulation game. They are a natural way for women to ensure they are investing their time and emotions in someone who truly deserves it. By understanding these dynamics and responding with security, humor, and authenticity, you will not only pass the tests but also strengthen the connection she feels toward you. Remember, the key is not to react impulsively, but to show who you are in a calm and confident way. That is what truly conquers, beyond words. They have enormous power, but when a woman feels attracted to someone, what she says is often as important as what she doesn't say. The phrases she chooses, the way she frames them, and the tone she uses can contain key clues about her true feelings, even when it doesn't seem like it. A subtle declaration of interest can be hidden behind an apparently normal conversation. Here, we will break down how to identify those words that, even if they seem casual, are loaded with emotion. One of the most telling signs is unexpected compliments. If a woman pays you a compliment about something specific, like your way of dressing, your sense of humor, or a skill you have, it's a sign she's paying attention to the details that make you unique, but not all compliments are the same. For example, a comment like, "You have good taste in clothes." It's polite, but one like, "I love how you put your outfits together. Your style is so original," is loaded with personal admiration. The more specific the compliment, the more likely there is interest behind it. Another important aspect is how she seeks to maintain deep and personal conversations. If a woman has feelings for you, she won't just settle for superficial small talk. Instead of limiting herself to talking about the weather or what happened during the day, she will look for topics that open the door to getting to know you better. Perhaps she will ask about your dreams, your values, or something significant from your past. These conversations are no coincidence. They are her way of creating a stronger emotional connection. If she also shares intimate aspects of her life, like her fears, goals, or personal experiences, she is building a bridge toward a deeper relationship with you. In addition to what she says, pay attention to the tone of voice she uses with you. Women tend to soften their tone of voice when speaking to someone they are interested in. This happens naturally as a way to convey warmth and closeness. If you notice that her tone is sweeter or that she uses affectionate words with you, it's a sign she is comfortable and wants to get closer emotionally. Even simple phrases like, "How are you feeling today?" can sound different depending on the tone. An interested woman will emphasize genuine concern for you, but it's not all just compliments or deep questions. Women also use humor and subtle teasing to express their interest. She might make jokes that only you understand or find playful ways to challenge you, like saying, "I don't think you're that good at that." As you say, these provocations are a way to keep the conversation light and fun while establishing a special bond with you. If she responds quickly to your jokes or keeps the humor going, she's enjoying the interaction just as much as you are. Another key indicator is seemingly casual phrases that hide deeper intentions. For example, if she says something like, "We should do that together sometime," or "I'd like to try that place you mentioned," she is subtly suggesting that she wants to spend more time with you. These phrases are rarely random, they are indirect invitations to further explore her relationship with you. Listen carefully and take note of how she frames these comments, because they are a window into what she truly wants. We cannot ignore the use of indirect questions to learn about your emotional or relationship status. She might casually ask you, "Are you still seeing anyone?" or "How is it that someone like you is single?" Although these questions might seem innocent, what she is seeking is information on whether she has a chance with you. Pay attention to how she reacts when you answer. If you notice she smiles or her expression lights up upon hearing you are available, she probably feels more than just simple curiosity. Finally, there are the words that reflect admiration or respect for who you are. Phrases like "You are very different from others" or "I can always count on you" are not just compliments, but show she deeply values your presence in her life. These words are a way of reaffirming that she sees something special and unique in you. In short, the words of an interested woman are never completely neutral. Although they may seem simple or casual, they are usually loaded with emotion and meaning. The key is to listen beyond the words, understanding the context, tone, and intention behind them. When you learn to interpret these verbal cues, you can connect with her on a much deeper level, understanding what she truly feels and thinks. Are you ready to decipher her hidden messages? Words can be the beginning of something extraordinary. Recognizing that a woman is interested in you is only the first step. What really matters is how you respond to those signals, and even more, how you leverage them to create an authentic and lasting connection. This is the moment to demonstrate your confidence, your value, and your ability to maintain her interest. Responding appropriately not only reinforces attraction but also opens the door to a deeper relationship. Here, I will show you how to do it effectively. The first principle is to understand the importance of reciprocity. If you perceive clear signs of interest, it is crucial that you also demonstrate your own in a balanced way. This doesn't mean you should exaggerate your responses or be overly obvious, but rather that you show small gestures that confirm you are also interested. For example, if she smiles when she sees you, return a genuine smile if she starts a conversation. Make sure to listen to her attentively and offer meaningful comments. The key here is to make her feel that her effort to approach you is being valued. But be careful, reciprocity should not be confused with desperation. It is a subtle game of give and take, always maintaining an air of confidence and calm. Furthermore, it is essential to avoid common mistakes that could extinguish the spark of attraction. One of the most frequent mistakes is overreacting to her signals, whether by showing too much emotion or trying to rush things. For example, if she hints that she would like to spend more time with you, don't respond with an immediate, elaborate plan that seems desperate. Instead, stay calm and suggest something simple. Like, "I'd love that. Let me know when you're free and we'll do it." This approach shows that you value her company, but also that you have control over your emotions. Another common mistake is overanalyzing her signals. When a woman shows interest, some men fall into the trap of questioning every gesture or word, looking for hidden meanings in everything. Not only is it exhausting for you, but it can also lead you to act insecurely. Instead of analyzing every detail, trust what you have observed and respond naturally. Self-confidence is much more attractive than uncertainty once you are sure of her interest. The next step is to create moments of authentic connection. This involves going beyond superficial interactions and building a solid foundation. For example, if you know she likes a particular topic like art or music, use that as a starting point for a deep conversation. Ask her questions that invite her to share her thoughts and emotions. A man who shows genuine interest in what matters to her stands out immediately. Remember, it's not about impressing, but about connecting. It is also important to understand the power of balanced initiative. While it is essential that she feels you are interested too, you shouldn't be the only one driving the interaction. A good way to achieve this balance is to alternate leadership in initiatives. For example, if she suggests a plan, show enthusiasm and participate actively. If you notice she hasn't taken the initiative for a while, propose something you know she will enjoy. This balance reinforces the idea that both of you are investing in the relationship. Another crucial aspect is demonstrating emotional independence, even if you are charmed by her. It is important that you maintain your own priorities, interests, and personal time. Women find a man attractive when he has a full life and doesn't depend on anyone for his happiness. This doesn't mean you should ignore her or act distant, but rather show her that your life has a purpose beyond the relationship. When a woman sees that you have goals, passions, and a solid identity, her interest in you intensifies. Finally, let's talk about building a solid relationship based on mutual respect and admiration. This means being consistent with your actions and words, showing her she can trust you, and treating her with respect at all times. Initial attraction is important, but what really maintains interest long-term is the quality of the connection you build together. If you can make her feel that she can be authentic, vulnerable, and valued with you, you will be creating a bond that transcends simple attraction. In short, responding to and taking advantage of a woman's signs of interest. It's not about games or complicated strategies. It is a process of authenticity, confidence, and genuine connection. If you are able to stay calm, correctly interpret her signals, and act in a balanced way, you will not only be strengthening the attraction, but also building a relationship with a solid foundation. Remember, true attractiveness lies in how you make her feel and the quality of the interaction you share with her. You are ready to take advantage of those signals and take the next step. The time is now to understand how a woman acts when she likes you. It may seem complicated at first, but once you learn to recognize her signals, everything becomes clearer, from her body language and the small actions she takes to the words she uses and the tests she might propose to you. Every gesture contains a message that, if you know how to interpret it, can completely change the dynamic between you. Remember that the key is not just in observing, but in responding with authenticity, confidence, and balance. Women are not looking for perfection, they are looking for connection. If you are able to catch those signals, show interest without losing your independence, and build an interaction based on trust and respect, you will not only understand her emotions better, but you will also become irresistible to them. Now it is your turn to apply what you have learned. And before finishing, I want to ask you a question. How many opportunities do you think you have missed by not knowing how to interpret these signals? From now on, don't let that happen again. Give your interactions a turn and start connecting for real. Finally, if you liked this content and want to learn more about how to improve your relationships and understand women better, subscribe to this channel. Here you will find the best tips on psychology, relationships, and personal development. Turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. And if this video helped you, leave us a like and share it with someone who could also benefit.